All right, I'm going to share with you probably one of the greatest tips that I've ever personally received. And if it helped me, I know it's going to help you. Okay, somebody gave me this tip when I was in high school. One of my golf instructors was really trying to work on my trail arm. He was a golf instructor that learned from a book called The Golfing Machine. Okay, it's literally the most complicated book that you've ever written about golf, right? It's like an encyclopedia of the golf swing. I looked at the book, I bought it at that age. I opened it straight to a chapter that said the secret of the right arm, okay? Because I'm like, let's get to the good stuff to where I can hit the ball better and maybe score a little bit better. I'm just trying to break 80 at the time, okay, to give you a sense of where I was. And he was giving me a tip on the positioning of my right arm at address, okay, about having my right arm close to my rib cage and externally rotated, and how that was a great thing to be able to just keep it in position the entire time. Okay, here's an example of what Ben Hogan thought of the same thing. Look at what he's showing at address. And then what my instructor would have me do, come on in here and show me what we're talking about. He would come in and he would say, look, when you set up at address, go ahead and work it back straighter. You notice how I'm able to keep this golf club in between my forearms and keep my shoulders relatively square. So you know that the trail arm is not straight. Okay, that's great. So you should be able to do the same thing with yourself. Remember, our lead arm, the bone in my lead arm is dead straight, but my trail arm is bent and it's externally rotated, which just means the pocket of my elbow is pointing more up towards the sky. It's not pointing over towards the screen over here. And usually, because most of us are right-handed, when we play golf, we really tend to dominate with this right shoulder and this right arm. My chiropractor friend that I'll see time to time, he even says, most people are already predisposed to being like this because they're so right side dominant in opening the door and reaching for something. You know, they're always actually more on this end of the spectrum as far as, you know, their right side taking over the left. And guess what? That's part of why we come over the top. So if we can get those muscles to conform before we start. So you notice I'm setting up my lead arm to be the leader, and my trail arm is the passive arm. It's the one that's going to stay nice and close. I remember vividly too when I was doing this, I'm walking around school, okay? This is how much of a golf nerd I was. And I would just be going like this, okay? Because I started hitting the ball so much better. I'm like a junior in high school and I'm sitting there going like this with my right arm. Probably everybody wondering, what the heck is wrong with this kid? Has he got something going on there that's not right? So, but it was really helping me so much, I wanted that constant reminder of when I set up to the golf ball of where to put my trail arm. And one of the reasons why it helps so much is it helps that club to get off to a great start to where it just rotates right up on plane and it keeps my arm in a very handy, tidy position. Anybody that's got their grip or their elbow or their arm in this position, you're pretty much not going to have any chance of doing this on the backswing. Especially for those baseball players out there who are really used to having something more like this in their backswing, okay, which can work for baseball, but it's not going to work for golf because the face is so open, you're going to slice the ball, right? So we get any type of this action in the golf swing, we can really correct it all by what we do at address. So you notice this little kind of judo move I'm doing at address, right? I'm taking my right hand and my right arm, and I'm just pulling it back and in, and then I'm putting my grip on. All right, so one of the things that you can do that really helps are just actually taking cross-handed swings, because this helps us to get our lead arm, right, and our trail arm in the right condition, okay, which I want to really make sure that my lead arm is the leader as I push it back. Now my trail arm folds to the top, okay, and there's a lot of golfers out there, Brooks Koepka, Rory McIlroy, I've even seen Jordan Spieth doing it, but hitting balls cross-handed to work on how their trail arm folds. So you'll see right away, okay, that this gets my right arm in a very passive position. You might not hit the ball great, but you'll definitely get a better sense of your lead arm staying straight and actually becoming the leader and your right arm just going on and supporting. So I could feel that ball went off to the right a little bit, but I definitely got a good sense of exactly what I should feel at the top. For those of you that are getting to the top and we're seeing a lot of this, right? The lead arm bent, the right elbow flared, little flying right elbow at the top. That's the opposite of what we're looking for. So take and make some of these cross-handed swings, get yourself into a nice position, and all you've got to do from here when you start down is just grab the ground with your lower body, and you're in a perfect position to come down. If you get up to the top and you've got all this mess in your lead wrist and your right elbow, bent arms, separated elbows, the chances of you getting this all back down into position are about 0 in 100, okay? So if we can really get it all nice and tidy on the way back, right? Think of like a really pure backswing, like an Adam Scott. It's so much easier to come down on plane. Hey, it's your coach Zach Allen here, and I hope you're enjoying today's lesson. In all of my years of coaching and studying the golf swing, I've discovered there's only one thing that separates the best ball strikers in the world from the rest of us. I call it the magic move, and you can use it to generate effortless power and consistency in your game. Since I don't have the time in this short video, I've put together a 3-part web class where I show you everything you need to know, nothing held back. I call it my Magic Move Training Series, and you can get the entire thing free of charge by clicking the link in the description below. You won't find these videos anywhere else, so click the link right now and join the over 100,000 golfers who have already gone through this incredible training. And now, let's jump back into today's lesson. The last little bit of warning I'll give you when you're doing a drill like this, okay? So I want you to go, as you start to hit normal balls, you're gonna just kind of put your right arm in and under and then grip the club. So it's just as simple as that. Right arm in and under, grip the club. Be careful that you don't go right away keeping your right elbow this close. You notice that my right elbow's under and bent. I'm taking it back on plane. Now the predominant folding pattern is happening on that part of the backswing, right? More towards the latter part. And then just do what I was doing in high school as I started to strike it better. Just start to get a better sensation of what that feels like. So that felt really good. That ball went dead straight. So here's my right elbow at address. My lead arm is nice and straight. Right elbow's under. And that really gives me a sensation if I can get to here. Look at how bent my right elbow is when I get to impact. The more your right arm is straight at impact, the more you're throwing away your power. Okay, so we want to have that bent there. So we start with it a little bit bent and in, so it's going to have a much better chance of getting there on the downswing. So next time you go out there, I guarantee that tip, it helped me real quickly. Just work a little bit of this magic into your golf swing and see if it doesn't start making you hit the ball a lot straighter and farther, okay? If you really associate your swing with your right arm, which a lot of great players do, Tiger Woods for one, he always associates everything in his swing with his right hand and his right arm, from his putting to his chipping to his driving. He's very right side dominant, which the majority of golfers are. Take a look at a couple of these videos. These ones here are some of my most popular videos about how to use your right arm. Just like what I told you earlier, right? The secret of the right arm, right? That was that book that I read in the Golfing Machine. It really gave me a good sense of like, okay, what is this doing? It is my dominant side. How can I control it? So I've got 2 different videos here that you might want to watch. I hope that helps, and I'll see you next video.